Hello, hello friends. Hello and welcome to my page. I quickly thought I would do a quick little video, about my antique shopping experience yesterday. It was the last antique show before Christmas. There's a show in Atlanta and a show in Columbus called the Don Scott Antique Show and I think the Antique Market, Don Scott Antique Market. And anyway, they have their biggest one here is the Friday after, or the Saturday after Thanksgiving. And so that's the one I went to the last time and I showed you guys. And then it's been a month since then. And so I'm back to, went back yesterday to go to another one. Julie was able to go with me yesterday, my friend. She couldn't go the first one. So anyway, we had a big day. Let's see what time we got there, 9. I think we left about 1:30, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1:30. Yeah, about 4.5 hours. The show was not as big. The other show, I think if you remember, it was like 7.5 hours it took me to go through. So anyway, I did find some great things. Julie found some great things as well. Hi, you guys. Thanks for jumping on with me. And I know a lot of you find it interesting, the things I go for. I think I got some of the things that I had before I just added to my little collection. And you know, we've been crafting up a storm, making things for all of you and for ourselves. And we have a few ideas of things that we want to do in Tammy's Making. Hi, Mom. In Tammy's Making. Hi, you guys. Mary and Sharon. I shouldn't just say hi to my mom. Penny and Susie and Rosemary and Sue. Hi, you guys. Hello, and thanks for jumping on. And thanks for saying hello. And while I'm thinking about it, too, mark your calendars or make a note. If you remember, I made an announcement of something I was really looking forward to that was coming soon. Well, soon has been decided, and it will be Thursday. I don't know the date, but this coming Thursday, right before Christmas, at 7 o'clock, right? 7 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock Eastern, I believe. 7 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock Eastern. Join us here on Tammy's, or Tammy Loves Vintage, and I'll be able to share with you what we're going to be doing. But well, I'll just tell you, I have a friend, a Facebook friend that I have made here online. And hi Clara, hi Linda, hi Karen. And we've kind of struck up a friendship, and we have a lot in common. And her name is Chastita, and she's with Custom Southern Vintage Co. DIY and Finds. Something, I think that's it. Something like that. Really close to that. Anyway, Chastita's going to be with us. We're going to try and do a side-by-side together. And this Thursday, we're going to talk about vintage Christmas items. She has a lot of vintage Christmas items that I don't have, and I have things that she doesn't have. And we've been finding ourselves chatting and both texting and talking. And we just have these really great conversations. Let me see. You've been really keeping us busy. Yeah, thank you. Oh, I'm so glad. I'm glad you're enjoying the crafts. Yes, so anyway, we've been having some really great conversations. Sometimes, you know, we're hitting a lot of points and facts, and other times we kind of, you know, run off on something else. But we thought you guys might really enjoy being a part of our conversations. And we both wanted to talk to each other more about lots of different topics. So we're going to start going live together, and we're going to try anyway. We're hoping it works. So just a heads up, mark your calendar, set your alarm for Thursday, this coming Thursday. Again, 7 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock Eastern, I believe is what we decided on. But I'll be texting you. My number is 740-273-6693 if you'd like to get texts on that. So, and I'll mention that number again in a little bit so that I can remind you guys. So thank you, Jana. Actually, you girls are the ones that told me about Chastita. I may have ran across some of her videos over time, over the years, but I hadn't really, honed in on her or realized that we had so much in common. And I read her bio in one of our creative coaching groups, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this girl and I are just like this. And when I went to see who it was, I'm like, oh, I do know her, but I don't know her. And I reached out to her, and then we've been friends ever since. So anyway, I kind of was having a little nudge from wherever, and it was a pretty strong nudge. So I reached out to her with this idea, and of course she was on board, thank goodness. I say of course, but I wasn't sure, but yeah. So she's on board, so we are gonna team up together and do some chatting with you guys, and just let you listen along while she and I banter back and forth about vintage, and you guys can add in and teach us things that we might not know, and we will try and share things that we know. I think it's gonna be really fun, and I think we're gonna have topics. We've kind of made a tentative sort of schedule for us to focus on so we can be thinking ahead of what we need to be looking for and learning more about and all that stuff for the whole year. So we're thinking confidently. So anyway, you guys, okay, here we go. I went shopping, I bought lots of good stuff. You probably can't, yeah, you're not gonna be able to really see. So I'm just gonna hold it up as we go. And the first thing, this is the funniest thing of all. So you guys know these, did I get, yeah, no. Did I get any? Oh, I got this one. I guess, oh here, I got these ones. I got these. Okay, so I am in love with the pipe cleaner people. I think you saw Connie talk about it here. And the spun cotton, like this little snowman guy. I mean, he's a mess. He's a wreck. But then they're all, they're so expensive. You can barely make out a little face on him. But the reason I grabbed him was to show you girls, they wrapped his body in a paper and made a collar in a paper, and then they used vintage balls for his arms, and then the bumped pipe cleaners for his legs. So we thought that would be interesting little twist on our people, and then you could use, you know, the leather that we have and make him tiny hats. So I wanted to show, I'll show the girls in my group, but I'm showing you all anyway. So this is a pipe cleaner guy that we made. Let's see, I made them first here. Julie made them on one of our Janky to Swanky projects. And then I made them as Martha May Huvier in the Sparkle Room event last month. And anyway, been hooked on them ever since, and I think a lot of my followers have as well. I picked up these two. They were $8 for the pair. So I snagged them, and I loved their mix of color. Ooh, I loved their mix of color on their body. I haven't done that. So I thought that was interesting as well. So that was a really good deal. Usually they're, you know, $15 a piece when they're vintage like this. So, you know, you learn as the more you hear about it and stuff, you learn. But this was the steal of the day. So this wreath, this not very pretty wreath, kind of a tired has-been of a wreath, was laying on a table. We're walking by and Julie's looking at it, and I'm like, she's gonna cut that up. And anyway, the lady wasn't there to tell us a price. Well, when you look closer, look, she's got tiny, tiny pipe cleaner people on this wreath. There's 1, 2, 3, and then this little reindeer guy with I think he's got a broken antler, and then the cute, tiny little, you know, bent up candy cane, and then just some mercury glass bulbs. But there's a lot that could be cut off of this. This greenery here will be great for the tins, as well as a piece of this every now and again, maybe. Or, you know, you can use this and cut it to make it look like a tree to hold in their hands. So anyway, we walked away from her because there wasn't anybody there. And it was fairly close to the door. So on the way out, we walked back over to see if she was there. And Julie was like, no, I don't want it. She says, let's just go. And I said, well, I'm just curious. And she's like, oh, okay, if you want it, go ahead. So I walked, and she ended up coming with me. The lady was there, and I bought this for $1. So this was the steal of the day. Of course, I told her I have to share a person with her. So anyway, yep, she snoozed and she loosed because I was jumping for joy, and we laughed about it all the way home. So anyway, Julie found these. Actually, it's a funny story about these. She brought them to me. Locally, there's a little antique shop. I'm jumping way off subject here, but again, just inspiring you guys to think about, you know, what you're looking for. And we at the local store, of course, I ran in through for Christmas stuff, and I saw these boxes of bunnies they're furry, and they're old. They're definitely old, and they're pretty bad shape. A lot of them have missing ears. Like this one has no ears at all. You know, so I saw them. There were 4 boxes, and I just pulled them out, peeked at them, saw these white bunny things, and thought, oh, no, I don't want those. So anyway, Julie climbs in the car yesterday morning, and she hands me 2 boxes of these bunnies, and she saw them and bought them. So she has great ideas for these bunnies. So I just have to say, like, I'm kind of kicking myself for not grabbing them and thinking like her, but I wasn't. I was in Christmas mode. So when you see something, you know me, I'm always high speed and always going, and I need to teach myself as well to slow down a little bit and to think ahead like she was. So I just thought that was such a funny story. I'm like, were these upstairs? Yes. Were they on the floor? Yes. Underneath the table? Yes. On the left side? Yes. She's like, why didn't you get them? I'm like, I don't know. But I saw them and I just didn't get them. So it's so funny. Just funny. Okay, I want to teach you a little about batting. So we had gone through the entire show, and one of the best Christmas booths, well, there were a couple really great ones, but one of the nice ones was right at the beginning at the door. So we went all through the whole show, and on our way out, we were deciding whether we were going to go really slow. Okay, come back, Clara, catch us. Clara, I'm sorry, my glasses on. Yes, it's Clara. You can catch the replay if you want to. But we were like, okay, we can go to Target and TJ Maxx or Marshalls and hit all those places, or go to lunch, or we can run back through the show again and see what we missed. Well, we decided to just hit the Christmas Girl on the way out the door and then go, you know, make a couple of other stops. So we went back, and we had already been through and bought a bunch of stuff that I'm going to show you. But we spotted this old batting, and I want to show you, like this, do you guys remember when they made tree skirts with the glitter on the batting? What I didn't realize is, look how thin. It's like paper. See how thin that is compared to the batting that we buy today? Is like really, it's like thick and puffy, and it's what you would, you know, stuff pillows with or whatever. So we were really kind of excited to find this batting. And this lady, I bought 3 bags of this batting for $10 a bag. That was just this, and it's just called Old Cotton Batting. But we've been talking about working on some other ideas for you guys for, we're going to incorporate them to spring, just because we're running out of time for Christmas. Oh, Robin, thank you. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you and yours. So here is the actual batting, not the glittered kind, but it's so thin. Like you can see through it. See like you can see through it. See? And that other batting, there's no way you could see through it. So we thought that was super interesting. So if you see like I saw these bags. I didn't pay attention to what they were until we went back again. And Julie said, look, this is old batting. I didn't even know what it was. I just saw a bag like this. Again, see, she's slower than me, and she takes more time, more methodical, where I'm just, you know, in a hurry. Oh, anyway, this is what it looked like in the bag. It was $10. I was like, I didn't even look at it. Like, it just looked like junk. But what it actually was very old cotton batting. So you girls in my group, we're going to be going over all of this stuff as well. I did pick up a lot more of the old tinsel. Now I know I taught you girls in there how to make new tinsel kind of old. It's still not quite the same. You know, this is what old tinsel looks like, and what we can do is a great substitute if you don't have this stuff. But it's really good stuff, and it's always so pricey. Like this one here, this one was the first one I picked up, and it was only $8 for this, which is really good. When you're making little tiny Santas like this size, and you just need this tinsel, like, you know, around his little waist, you're using about 1 inch of it. You're not using that much of it out of the whole thing, so you really get a lot of good out of it. If you're just doing one big project and you're wrapping it around a picture frame or something, yeah, it's gonna add up. This one was $20, and it was a lot bigger. I had to untangle it. It was all tangled up. But this one here was $20, very vintagey. And I'm telling you, this is the stuff that makes projects made with new items look crazy awesome. Like really old and vintage and aged and just yummy, yummy. So this bag was $19.50. And this is yet another form of the tinsel. This one's just even a, I don't know, a brighter but yet more delicate. So I grabbed this one as well. So kind of stocking up for next year. I know we kind of started Christmas a little bit early, and so we were anxious for the Christmas shows to begin because we were, hi Vivi, hi Terry. Anyway, we were excited to get started with Christmas, but we couldn't wait for the Christmas antique shows to start because we needed supplies. So we kind of have been buying up so that we can Christmas all summer if we want to. So, all right, here is something else. So if you remember the last time I went, remember the little bird that I got with the mica on it? Well, I found this one, which is identical to it, except this one, his body is a pine cone. And I absolutely love that. Hi, Randy. I absolutely loved that bird was a pine cone. So I got it. They're going to match on the tree. And this one was only $3.50. So I was happy. Now look, the mica is gone in places, but I'm okay with that. I know it's very old, very vintage. And the more you start looking at Christmas, vintage Christmas items, the more you will realize how much they are. So yes, Connie, it was in Columbus. So this was the only vintage bulb I picked up. This is my third one now that I bought. My friend Sherry gave me a little Santa. He's like this big. I'm going for this kind of a color, this mercury glass color. And I was doing all small ornaments because of storage. So anyway, this one, I picked this one up because I really liked it. It was either $3 or $5. I'm not sure which. I don't want to spend more than $5 on one. So, but I might have got a deal. I can't remember, and the price isn't on there. I usually try to write them down, but I didn't do a very good job of it this time because I knew I was buying most of it for my inventory. What do you mean ball? What do you mean? Is that, you mean just like a ball ornament, or is that a name brand? I don't know. So I did buy these ornaments from my favorite Christmas gal, and she had $40 on the box. Well, I bought so much stuff that she came down to $5 a piece for me because I did buy a lot. Yeah, so that's kind of why I'm doing it. It's not to brag and be like, oh, I spent $30 on something this big. It's not that. It's that you can't find them cheaper. And if, like, I did find a cotton batting Santa like this one, but it was the cotton batting that we're making in the group. I found one like him for $3, and he was amazing, and I still can't believe it. And that just doesn't happen. So the lady didn't know what she had. I've never paid more than $22.50 for them, but on average you can find them about $15 a piece. So I do want you guys to not get taken advantage of just because, like, oh, I saw Tammy had one of those, I really want it, and then pay $50 for it and feel like you got robbed. I don't want you to do that. So these are very, very rough, and I'm going to have to do a little bit of repair to them, but I absolutely love how they have beads. See the wire? They're wire wrapped, and it's fine wire. Yes, Connie. And look, it's very fine wire. And then look at this one. I love the beadwork on the mercury glass bulbs. Now, I'll probably break these and just be heart sick. It's possible. Knowing me, but I'm going to do my best to not. So it's just very different, and I thought they would look great on my tree with all of the vintage stuff. So it's a little bit late in finding these, but I love them, and I think they'll look great together. So it was $30 instead of $40. So yeah, I thought they were very unusual. And then I found some little wooden things, again, for more tins, or we didn't even get to make, this year we didn't, oh, hi Linda, welcome. Yes, thank you, Jamie. And Norma, hi Norma. Okay, so I found these little vintage little bit chippy angels. So I grabbed those because they are so tiny. They're going to be great in our lids. At the end of the day on Thursday, at the end of the night on Thursday night, I pulled out 3 of our little ball jar lids and did them. And Sherry and Julie were like, we haven't done any ball lids at all this year. And so anyway, I kind of had a hankering to make those. It was kind of, you know, we've made so many tins. We've probably made 50 tins this year. And we've loved doing it, but I was just ready to make something else before it was over, you know, trying to grab everything in that I could. I got both of these little teeny tiny glass for $1. And I got this little train for $1. So see, sometimes, I don't think these are old, you know, by any means, but I think that they're vintage for sure. This one especially is a little more roughed up than this one, but still I love the size of them. I bought him for $1, and he's where they took yarn and made a person out of it and then used the spun cotton. We're really learning a lot about the spun cotton, and we're really going to play on that more in the group for you guys. So for you girls in the group, we're going to learn more and more about the spun cotton and do some things with it in the future. So we're still studying. Julie's got a few projects in mind that she wants to bring to us. I found this really awesome sheep, and he is wood based with something over top. I don't know what it is. I do know it's German. The guy that sells this particular booth that I bought from, everything that he has is really amazing, and it's really amazing. You get great stuff after Christmas. Oh, that's awesome. Yes, you can. I don't know about antique, you know, deals, but he's got a foot missing. But, and I can't remember, I paid up for him. I want to say he was like $20, but because of who I bought him from, number one, I knew it was authentic. Number two, the fact that it's all of my color. I mean, you can see just on this one little display behind me, that's my colors. So it'll be a keeper. So when you pay up, sometimes if you're keeping it and you know you love your crafts and all of that, he's going to be fantastic, and I will not regret having him. I did find some more stamens that are large to tuck in the decor. So these are just like the insides of your flowers. These were just vintage. There's no price on them. I don't know what I paid for them. I found these. So this guy had a big tub full of cookie cutters, and they weren't super great, but I went for all the wooden handled ones. And when I pulled the first one out, look how big it is. It's just this big. It's just a tiny cookie cutter. Well, I dug through all of them and I found 9. Well, the guy was nowhere to be found in his booth. So he was at the end. So we went all the way down the row and back down the row. And then I said, hey, I'm going to run around and see how much these things are. So we struck up a little conversation about how I'd never seen these tiny little ones. And he said they were sandwich cutters, which I can't imagine. I mean, that's what he said. So, and I was just like, whatever, right? That's not a big enough sandwich for this mama. So he threw this one in for me because it matched. It was the only other one with the red handle. And I thought they would be just adorable in a bowl, just all together. And like I said, I've never seen any. You guys may. We'll ask Chastita on Thursday if she's ever seen them. But I can tell you on the way back out, beside of the lady with all the Christmas stuff was another really nice booth, and they had children's. That makes more sense. Children toy cookie cutters. I don't know, but I can tell you that pedophores, maybe so, because there was a booth right beside of the Christmas lady, and they had beautiful things. I bought something from them. I can't remember what, looking. I can't remember what it was. Might have been a jar of buttons, but anyway, I think that is what it was. She had a box of these with a clear lid on them. They were $30 for a set, and it said sandwich cutters. So, okay. So I don't know, but she had the whole box and they were $30. I got these for $1 a piece. So I was pretty happy with my little $9 purchase there. That was a pretty good deal. I didn't even know I was getting a deal, but I guess I did. So either I got her a heck of a deal or she was out of her mind, right? Okay, so these are pieces of the chenille people. Okay, they're like a bump pipe cleaner that doesn't bump. It's just a fat wired chenille pipe cleaner. She wanted $4. She wanted $8 for this long one. She wanted $6 for this short one. $4.50 for all of the cream colored ones each. She was way high. So we kind of wheeled and dealed together, and I got somewhat of a deal, I guess, on these. But I thought for all of the heads that I've been buying, I want to make some that I'm going to keep. And so I wanted some extra special pieces that would not be new pipe cleaners. So I went ahead and splurged because I knew I was going to keep them. But I'm showing you these because if you feel the same as I do and you get to making these people and you happen to see, anytime you see anything Christmas, dig around, just flip through it with your fingers and make sure you're not missing anything good down in the bottom, because most all of this stuff we dug for, okay? But anyway, just giving you the idea, okay? That was my idea, was, you know, I can easily make an awesome, really vintage Santa, and I think I can do a good job of being really vintage, using all vintage stuff, so I'm excited about that. I picked up this little guy. He's a Japan Santa, but I thought he was really cute and I thought he would look great on a tin. So I bought him. I found a couple of boots. You know, I was gifted some boots from a follower, and I found these two boots. They didn't have a set, but they had a black one and a red. They're a little different. The red one's actually wax and the black one's more paper mache. But the wax one was $3.50, and I don't know how much I don't remember. We just had a whole basket full. Little sandwiches. Okay. They are bite-sized. They are for sure bite-sized, Judy. So I bought these two little boots. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with them, but we'll do something. I absolutely love this. It was $3.50. Look at this tiny little old sock. It says Merry Christmas the correct way. I don't have you guys turned around, but it's just a little teeny tiny sock. You can see the size. Look how little, and it is so old and it is so fabulous. I don't know what, but I figure I can hang it off of the front of a tin or something. I haven't seen chenille in a long time. Table arrangements. Oh, that's awesome. That's really awesome. So I found this really, yeah, I'd love to go back there, right, and make some now. I found this really cool old scale. It's not been cleaned up. I don't always clean things up, but I wouldn't mind cleaning just to see what I can do with this face. When I was at the show, I was kind of, you know, just doing that, and I wasn't really getting anything, but he said he hadn't cleaned it, and I'm really not getting anything. So I don't know if I can get it any better. I don't want to lose the numbers or anything, but I thought it was an awesome scale. I love the size of it for the kitchen, and of course I'm going to do something with it, probably in the group, but I will for sure share pictures. And I don't know if I'll sell it. I was kind of thinking about, you know, some different things that I could make for you guys, so I don't know if I will or not. It's kind of a neat size for the kitchen. And then I found some oil cans. So these will be fun to do up. So I'm excited about the oil cans. Yes, it's an old postal scale. It's a large one. I think most time they're not so big. And then I found these hot and cold spigot knobs. So I was thinking of the tops of a bottle. Of a couple of bottles, like a high-low bottle set. I always try to pick these up when I find them, old rolling pins, and I thought I love the size difference, but I love that they're all neutral. It's very easy to find red-handled ones, and it's very easy to find the ones where the handles spin, where the handles are loose. You do have, oh, Robin, that's awesome. but the handles spin. So I try to get them where it was all carved out of one piece of wood, where the handles don't move. And I also love just the wooden finish. The red handles are probably more popular, more common. And I also love the black handles. However, I don't have any of the black handles, but I do love them. But I love the little, I mean, I've got great big ones up on my shelf. You've all seen it, but I love the little ones sticking out of things in my kitchen. So anyway, I found a couple of those, which sometimes they're kind of hard to find. I got a little wooden soldier. He's no big deal. I found this little house to craft. It's a little manger. I thought it was adorable, and it had the mica on it, and I don't know how much it was. Sometimes I just bundled. I just would pick up a bunch of things, and in my mind, I'm kind of adding where I'd want to be, and then I show them the basket and say, you know, how much for all of this, and then I know what I want to spend, and they know what they want out of it, and it just all, sometimes it works out, sometimes I put it all back. So I'll forget it, you can't do it. Especially with Christmas items, they're just awful. So this guy was pretty unusual. I had to get him. He was $8, and I don't know why. He's not even my colors. I don't know. There was something quirky about him. He's like a spun cotton with pipe cleaner arms. He's got a hatchet. He must be going out to the woods to cut down his Christmas tree. But look at his little spindly legs. I don't know. I just thought he was super fun. Yes, the Putz houses. That one was a manger, Putz house. So I didn't know if it's still a Putz house if it's a manger. I don't know. But I loved him. He was $8. He was adorable. And I mean, I wouldn't have spent $15 on him. I thought he would probably be $10. So when he was $8, you know, I did do a little splurging, and I'm not bragging, you guys, because if I get any of that, I won't tell you prices anymore, because I'm not. It's not that. It's that I'm trying to tell you what to expect when you are shopping. So this little wreath is a little bit bigger than the wreaths that you get in the packs at, yes, Putz houses are all cardboard. Yes, I have a couple I'm going to show you. There's another name for them as well, and I can't remember now what it was, but the lady was telling me about them. I should have wrote it down. I think it started with an L. But I think that the manger totally reminds me of a Putz house, but it's a manger scene, so I don't know. I'm not sure. I would call it a Putz house for lack of knowing anything. Yes, Joe. So this little wreath was $3.50, but I absolutely loved it, and here's why. I bought the wreaths. They're a little bit smaller than this at Hobby Lobby in the tiny crafting section. And my stepdad gave me an absolutely awesome thing. I don't know if I told you guys about this. When we were over there, well, the girls in my group, I made the train car, and I put it on the silver tray, and I added all the old trees and did it all up. Well, was it old tree? I think I might have used the burlap based new trees, but I loved how it turned out. Anyway, I took a picture of it, and I was telling Franz about it. You met Franz last Christmas, and he told you a little Christmas story. Anyway, I was showing him the picture of my train car, and then I was telling him about the light pole that I bought. Remember I showed you guys with the Main Street sign on it, and our house is on Main Street. So not this, but our other house, our little house was on Main Street. So I bought that sign and dressed it up for Christmas. So I was showing him, talking about it, and he says, "Come with me." So we went downstairs, and he pulled out this black metal heavy train car crane. It had a crank. The crane went up, and on the end of the crane was a hook, and the crane would go down, and then another crank would let the string down for the hook and back up. And when he moved here from Germany, you guys want to hear about this? You may not even want to hear about it, but I bought it because he gave me if you want to hear a story, let me know. I bought this wreath because it's a little bit bigger, and I wanted to hang it on the hook of the train car that he gave me. So I can tell you the story about the train car. It's kind of kind of cool little story. I won't worry if you don't hear it. Then I found these little doll heads. They are spun cotton, little angel heads or choir singer heads. So I bought 2 packages of those because they're already the spun cotton, and I won't have to make them because we are going to try to figure out how to make the spun cotton heads. And we're going to, okay, Okay, I thought you might, some of you might want to hear. And then I thought I'd try the embroidery thread, like those angels that we made. I thought I might try embroidery thread for their hair on the ones that I'm going to make. So yeah, so I have the spun cotton heads to play around with. And then speaking of spun cotton heads, I bought an Easter bunny one so I could make an Easter, and it's got all these, I don't know what to do. I mean, I don't know why these are all on here. She had a bunch of circus ones. She had a lion and a seal and all different ones. I really wanted them because I wanted these tiny little pipe cleaners, and I was thrilled to see so many. But I absolutely love the little bunny, so I'm gonna make a chenille man out of him. But so, okay, so Franz is showing me this train car, and he's telling us about his train car, and he had two of them. One was black and one was gray and black, and he asked me if I would like to have them. And I said, well, I love them. Why don't you want them? Well, he's just trying to, I think he's, thinking of retirement, or well, he's retired, but just thinking of downsizing and who will love his treasures that he's treasured his whole life. And he knew that I really liked my red Reading Railroad train car. Well, this train car has the name Bucyrus Erie stamped on the side of it. And Bucyrus Erie was the company that when he moved here, he was a teenager. He and his brother moved here from Germany, kind of to escape. And he couldn't speak English, either one of them. They came here, landed in Chicago. Someone somehow took him under the wing. He started learning how to speak English. He did an apprenticeship with Metalworks. Oh gosh, Mom will probably play this for him and he'll say, that's not what, but it's something like that. Something like that. He learned welding, he learned a trade, and got a job with the Bucyrus Erie Company. And the Bucyrus Erie Company was in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and Franz got very good at his job, and he became a really good, he wasn't a mechanic, he was like an engineer, a fixer of things that the mechanics couldn't figure out. So when a coal mine or whoever had equipment from Bucyrus Erie that had something go wrong, they would fly him wherever it was in the world to work on this piece of equipment. So anyway, he had two Bucyrus Erie train cars, and back in the day, that was a big heavy metal company like Caterpillar is today. So anyway, it was just really cool to have an original. He said he's had it over 40 years, and I chose the black one. And then I went over and was just looking at the gray, and he said, tell me why you picked the black one. And I said, because it matches my decor. I don't have anything gray. And he says, well, you picked the best one. It's all metal. And so I picked up the gray one, and the gray one, the car was plastic, but the wheels and stuff was metal. So anyway, I got the black train car. I don't have it here at this house. It's at the other house, and I have this tiny little wreath hanging from the hook, and I think that this wreath will be much better size. And if not, I saw this one. It was only $5, and it was a brush tree wreath. It was an old brush tree wreath, and it had little berries on it, little bulbs on it. So it is Connie. You guys that have been around to listen to him and the things he's taught me about the German people, and it is so fascinating. And you kind of had a little thing for Germany and the Germans and what happened at the Holocaust and all of that, but his take on it was that he didn't even know it was happening. None of the Germans knew that that was going on where he was anyway. And that Germany to this day pays money, I don't know how much or whatever, to any survivor that survived, that Germany, they pay them like a like a pension or something, but to try to do right by them. But gosh, his house, Franz as a little boy, his house was invaded by the American soldiers, and they were very awful, making them leave their home. And he was blinded. His dad was blinded in one eye when a soldier headbutted him with the back of his rifle, and he lost his eyesight in one eye, and they had to flee to a tent town of all tents and stay there because they couldn't go home because all of the soldiers had invaded their houses. And and then when they got to finally go back home, I don't know, he doesn't like to talk about all this stuff, but when he finally got to go back home, however long, it was a long time, but when he finally got to go back home, the house was just infested and terrible and just awful things. I mean, just awful. And it was almost uninhabitable, and so they had to do a lot of cleaning to get it all cleaned up. And then he said that, like, when he would go to school, if you reported a bomb that had been exploded, he would get a day off school, and he knew where there was a whole bunch of them in the field out behind the woods. So he said, I wouldn't tell him every single one. I would just tell him one every once in a while, so I'd get a day off. I'd get a day off of school every once in a while. So that was kind of a cool story. But yeah, he's a really great guy. And hi.
Hi.
So okay, I'm showing everybody what I got shopping. So, and I got off track talking about prawns. Okay, so here we go. So let's get back on. But it is, and it makes, you know, when you're antique shopping and you know that something is made in Germany, it's nicer, it's better. You know, Japan isn't quite as desirable as Germany, but when things like right here, like this little tree, this little tiny tree, you see this tiny little metal brush tree. Okay, if you look at the bottom of it, it says made in Germany. It's backwards, but it says made in Germany. And the lady that was selling it was almost a little tearful. She wasn't sure. Yeah, way to get days off, right? This tree was $16, and I bought it only because it had the Germany stamp on the bottom, which increases its value exponentially. So I don't have anything pink Christmas, but it is a very subtle pink, and I absolutely loved it. So it quite possibly could be my splurge of the day for what it is, but I did buy that, and I did up it a little bit just because it was from Germany. I mean, I was okay with the price being higher. I wasn't okay with it, but I understood it. Let's say that. Okay, I bought this little house. It has Japan stamped on the bottom, but I just loved it. And again, I think this is a Putz house. I'm not sure. I think all of the little houses are Putz houses. However, this one is real hard. And I think a lot of times the Putz houses are a little more fragile. A little more fragile. I was trying to think of the word. And then let's see. I think I found this one first. Absolutely loved it. Loved the tree. Loved the snowman. I loved everything about this house. The color, it's almost neutrally. It's not too bad. They would put lights in the back. But then later in the day, I found this one, and look how good they go together. So I got them both. I think this one, it's marked 25. I think it was 20. This one was $12.50. So, hi Denise. So I loved those. So yeah, I thought, these will be fun to decorate or do something with, but the more I was looking at them, I really don't think I'm gonna do a whole lot because they're kind of great just like they are. I have a couple snowmans like him, so I may add a snowman here in this one as well. But yeah, the pink tree, I had to sit and think for a minute, but you know, sometimes, you know, I feel like with antiquing, you can either pay, it's either very expensive or you get a steal and it's really cheap. And then you have the people in the middle that are just average price. So the high guy is the one that has something that is extraordinary, usually, and the cheap person may not know what they have. And so when we say we're treasure hunting, it's not even so much that we're looking for treasures, but you're looking for deals as well. And if you find a treasure that's very expensive, then you've got a battle in your mind like, do I really want to give up a $50 bill for this thing? You know, it's really, because it's probably only worth 20, but I've never seen anything like it, and I really, really love it. Like, there's just so many elements to antique shopping, right? There's just so many things to stoke your fire or to challenge your mind. I don't know. But so, okay, here is something, you're going to laugh at this. I found these little tiny trees, and they're adorable. I mean, like, look, compared to my fingernail, they're tiny, tiny. They're earrings. Somebody wore them for earrings, but they're going to fit perfectly in my little tins. So your mom had those when she passed away. Your sister has them. Oh, that's so awesome. Well, you make sure that your sister knows that you love them, so that maybe if she gets tired of them or, you know, something happens, that you'll be able to get them, Kathy. Make sure she knows how much you love them. I found this deer in my bag. I have no idea. It was, I don't know how much, I do know how much. It was $1. I was just going to say it was probably $1. It doesn't float my boat, but it's white or cream, so it'll match my decor, and probably grabbed it because it was just $1. And we're always looking for things we can add to our tins. So I already showed you this little guy. He's coming apart, but I know I can just glue that back down and there won't be any trouble with that. But I absolutely love him, and he is a cotton face. It's not plastic, and I'm not sure you can tell, but not cotton, paper mache. So then I bought this one, a little raggy. This one was $4. You can tell the difference in an expensive one and a janky one. And so sometimes that's why you pay up, but you know, I know with a little bit of love, I can fix him right up, and he's gonna be fabulous. And I love that he's freestanding, and I know he's janky, but when I get done, you'll like him, I promise. Okay, then I got this pipe cleaner Santa because look, they made it stand up on a little disc. I loved it. $12.50, but I loved it. And again, too, just to remind me that, hey, instead of making them all hang, why don't you stand one up? And look at what they did for the tree. They just used a little bump of green. One of the little pipe cleaner bump, you know, the little puffy, the pipe cleaners that get fat and then skinny and fat and skinny, you can find them at Hobby Lobby. And you cannot, if you figure out a way to kill the red a little bit, let me know, because I love this soft, aged red color, and I soaked them for a whole day in bleach. Didn't touch them. So nothing's gonna, I don't think, if bleach doesn't touch it, I don't know what will. I found this pin. It's a pin that somebody wore. There, you can see the pin bracket right there. So this was an old tree, but I loved it. And I was thinking pink. I still don't know what I'm doing, but it was pink to maybe, you know, do something. I don't know what. It's not the right pink, but it's pink. So if I get my crap together right, I might be able to do something with it. It was, oops, it had a pin in it. Let's see here. This one was $6.50. The pin was $6.50. This little one was $9.50. She said she'd come down to $9. So wow, right? Wow, big savings there. But it's a cutie, and again, because I had bought the pink tree, was just thinking pinks. That's probably better to go with. Or I'll make a series of 3 things and put the 3 things together. I don't know. Sometimes you buy what you like and then it all comes together. And that's kind of how things work for me. Okay, talking to Chastita this morning, and we were talking about the Santa mugs. And you think, how many things are you passing by that in years to come are going to be something very collectible and you wish you would have known? These Santa mugs are one of those items. When you think of how many years we've been antique shopping and how many Santa mugs you see even at Goodwill for $1 and nobody wants them, and then all of a sudden Instagram starts showing these collections of these Santa mugs in all sizes. These are the small, and then they make regular size Santa mugs, like mug size Santas. And they're like $50 a piece. They're insanely expensive. So anyway, I have a couple of them. One of them I paid up. I think I went to Etsy. I was so frustrated because I couldn't find one that I thought, I don't care what it costs, I'm finding one. And I bought one, and I think it was like $35, maybe $37.50, something like that. I'm still sick about it. Blah. I still feel sick that I did it, but I absolutely love it. So there's that. So then I found one the year before last. I think it might have been last year, but I think it was the year before last. It was a Japan one. I don't love it, but I like it. So, and it wasn't very much. I want to say it was like $15. So the Santa mugs, this one is not marked at all, but it's definitely old. I mean, it's definitely an older mug. It is definitely not new. But I'm sure it's an older one, and there could be a mark somewhere on it. Oh, it's Japan. It's right here. There's the mark right there, flat, and it says Japan. The problem with them was that it has wax in them. I'm like, oh, I don't really want to dig the wax out of there. Julie said, just stick a brush tree in it. It'll go away. Take the base off, and put a brush tree down in there, and it'll be adorable. So I might do that. I don't know. I got plenty of time to figure out how to get that wax out of there. But here's the other one. And I love the chippy red. So some of you that haven't learned yet, so this is something else that we talked about. Chassa and I talked this morning for a long time. And one of the things that we talked about was, you don't know if you don't know. And like, I remember when I first started shopping with Julie, and she'd want to go to an antique shop, and I'd be like, oh, hurry up, it stinks in here. Like, I can't wait to get out of here. When are we going to TJ Maxx? Like, I don't get it. And she bought a $100 pansy painting, oil painting, paid $100 for it. I thought, what in the world? Why would you spend that much? I don't get it. We pushed it. We were on boats all weekend. She pushed it around on her boat. Like, what the heck? We had docked and gone into town. Anyway, I've come a long way since then. She's very proud of me. But she's taught me along the way. Just hanging out with her and being in her house and seeing her treasures and learning has just made me interested in it. And I realized the value of not being able to run out and get something that you really want, and that makes it even more desirable or treasureful or whatever. I don't know. But yeah, it makes you covet other things because you wish you could get one and you can't. So it makes it even more fun. This is marked Japan on the bottom with a sticker, but I'm sure it's like the clay. It's like clay or something. I don't know what they call it, but anyway, he's got a candle in there too. But I grabbed them both. They were the only mugs I've seen all year. Besides Instagram, where they're showing shelves like this behind me, but it'd be open shelves with like hundreds of them stacked all different ways. Whatever. Instagram. Whatever. Okay, I bought a bag. I love Instagram for inspiration pictures. I share a lot of those with you guys on my page every day. And that's really truly where I learn what are things people want and stuff. Is Instagram's where it's at. Okay, I found a bag full of heads to make my people with. Love the Santa heads and stuff, so I can make some people when I go out to see Summer and wait on the baby to get here, or when the baby's sleeping. I gotta have something to do. So it's a Holt Howard. Is that right, Connie? I see you. The ones made by Holt Howard are $. Really? Wow. See, I didn't know that. I bet it's this one because it's more, I feel like it's more special. It was $15 is what I paid for it. So, that wasn't cheap. It's not Goodwill cheap, but let me know, Connie. Let me know. I'll write that down and put it on a sticker on the bottom of it. I picked up a bunch of brush trees. Now, I buy the brush trees from Hobby Lobby, and I kind of stain them, and I add the Snow-Tex, and I stain the Snow-Tex. We do all that in a group, but, with the double H. Okay, but this is a vintage tree with vintage Snow-Tex on it and a wooden base instead of a plastic base. And so there is a big difference. The trees are usually $5 a piece. Honestly, $5 a piece, whatever size. I paid $15 for one, and I paid $10 for this one. $10 for the littler one, and $15 for this one. And when you say, oh, double H, I see the H above and the H below. I was gonna say, I don't remember seeing two H's, but that's what she's talking about, HH. How do you know it is a Holt Howard? Okay, see the H above and then the H below the word Japan? You can get Hobby Lobby brush trees with a wooden base today. Oh, really? That's cool. That's really cool. And paint them out if you need to. But there's something about the look of these old trees in comparison to the Hobby Lobby brush trees. I still buy them. I'm not dogging them. I'm thankful as heck that they're there because they're great in a pinch. Or if I have too expensive of a little fellow on there and I know I want to sell it, I might go with a Hobby Lobby brush tree instead of a $5 brush tree, you know, stuff like that. But these few are exceptionally amazing. Again, $5 a piece. But I wanted to show you. I've never seen them quite so tiny. Okay, so let me show you in perspective here. This tree is a typical normal tree. So see the difference? See how tiny they are? I absolutely love them. Yes, I was at Don Scott. I absolutely love them. And I thought maybe on this house, you know, maybe one of those tiny little ones, or on this house. I don't know. We're going to be doing some houses, but I want them to be wintry. And that's going to be our theme, I think, for January. I don't really do themes, but we kind of are going to have a little theme the first week and a half before I leave for Arizona of houses and all kinds of different little ideas. So that's going to be what we're going to do in the group before I take off. I found this plastic one, which was, I see, I've got to clean. I just unpacked everything. So it's got, you know, from her, whatever, is it felt? It's plastic. Yeah, it's just plastic. I thought it looked like it might have had felt on it. And then I absolutely love this one. This is my biggest one that I got. So just to give you perspective again, but I love them. And this one was the honey right there. This was the one that made me start digging through the batch. But see how cute? I am just thrilled with the trees that I got this trip. And then I found a little pine cone on a stand to try to make a pine cone man. Let's see here. Oh, I found some more watch faces for you guys, so I'll be putting those online. I know there's already a bunch on there for you crafters, but I was able to find more clock faces, so those will be going up. Oh, I found a pile of pearls. The old vintage, the kind of a pinkish sort of tone to them. And look at the seed pearl necklace. Seed pearls are tiny pearls. Like, see the difference in size? So seed pearls are really even tinier than this, to be honest. But compared to this, I feel like this looks like a seed pearl. But seed pearls usually find in the little teeny tiny pins and brooches and necklaces and things. What do you use to make snow on the bottom? You know, I really like Snowtex, Snowtex. Denise, we've used where you do the Mod Podge and you sprinkle the snow on, and we've done puffy paints and we've done all sorts of things. Years ago, we used to hand paint Christmas bulbs, and I didn't get a chance to do that with you guys. I wish we had another month for everything I really wanted to do. We just got so hung up on making the tins that we lost track of everything else we wanted to make. But you use graphite paper, and we would trace Christmas cards or any Christmas pictures that we would find, and then we would use graphite paper to transfer them onto the bulbs. And that's where I used Snowtex. That's where I first learned about it. I don't know, maybe 10 years ago from my friend Sandy Myers. And I never thought to use it, you know, for any other craft. It was just in my bulb area, you know, where all my glass bulbs and my drawings and things were. And then I saw people using Snowtex, and I thought, well, yeah, that's great stuff. And so anyway, I got it out, and yes. So then I found a couple of these little things to craft with in the dollar jewelry bin. I picked up these little janky trees, but I'm telling you, in the right instance, in the right surroundings, with the right things, these are the best trees of all. The crustier, the better. So I'm thrilled, like I said, thrilled with all of my trees that I got. And then I also found some jars of buttons. Not a lot, but I did find a few jars of buttons, and they were heavy. I can tell you they were heavy. And one jar was labeled pearl buttons. So they're all the pearly, I know usually there's some pearl buttons mixed in, but this time there were two different vendors of buttons, and they were all very, very, very good buttons. We've had button day where we talked about buttons here and all the different kinds of buttons, and there are not plastic buttons in these, or if they are, they're very minimal. So I was excited about the buttons. And oh, one more thing. So now this might gross some of you out, and I don't mean to do that. Do you see my fur right there? It's a rabbit pelt, and I love that fur. You can buy fur from Hobby Lobby, which I have in the living room on the fireplace. And that fur, oh no, you know what? I think I might have taken it to the little house for the table by the TV. It might not be in the living room now. Anyway, there is a huge difference in fur. So this guy had a rabbit pelt, or this one was from a lady. It was $10. It's absolutely beautiful, but it also, for crafting, for crafting, like to fix this little guy, it's very thin, okay? It's very, very thin pelt. If you can see, not the fur part, but just this part, it's almost like old batting, how thin the old batting was. They were all different prices, Vanessa. They were all different prices, so I can't even tell you. I can't even tell you. The jar with all of the this stuff was $30. I can't tell you that one. I do know that because I debated on not getting it, but it does make a difference. A plastic button as opposed to a real pearl button. Anyway, so this is tiny thin, so I would be able to cut a tiny strip, and the fur on this is amazing to run. Like, remember when I showed you the boots that I made when I had a follower give me the boots? So anyway, I got one for my house, for, you know, wherever, and then I bought the first one I thought to cut up. Okay, I bought that one to cut up and use. All right, then I found this old hat to cut up. Okay, and he gave me the hat and these two pieces to cut up, which I liked because I don't mind, it's already been cut, like it's already a mess, right? And it's already little pieces. And compared, look how aged it is. Even the hat is aged. So I think that this, thanks Lana, I think that this is going to be better for my projects than the pure white. So I want the pure white, I'm thinking over here, which actually, let me just see, but I think, yeah, it's even white. You probably can't tell. Oh yeah, you can tell. It's even whiter than the one that I had that I thought was really white. So I did buy some rabbit fur. Sorry, don't hate me, because I know that's awful, but it was there, it was done, the deed was done, and someone was gonna get it. I have no excuse. I have no excuse other than you can't, it's just, I didn't go kill a rabbit myself, but I really love the fur. It's just amazing. Well, I have a piece of fur right here on my table, actually from Hobby Lobby, right here, look at that. This big piece, but it's so thick. It's just really, really thick. There's no comparison to this. So I know I had fur here somewhere. Heck, it's right here beside me. You can't tell. You can't tell. You just got to trust me. I could wad this up in my hand. It is so small. Like, it is so small. You would, like, I can get it in one hand. And a wad of that the same size would take 3 or 4 hands. It's really thick. So, oh, it makes you itch? Oh, well, we'll find out if it does that to me. Yeah, it makes me sick. And I can tell you, my stepdad will he eats rabbit. He loves it. He drives to Amish country to get rabbits. And he made me try it, and honestly, it was good. I just couldn't. I just couldn't do it. So some people are eating it like the cowhides, you know, like not just for fun. So it's okay. It's okay. We're getting heavy again. So, okay, you guys, I've got to go because I have to run over and load up our painting equipment. We start a new paint job tomorrow. So I've got to go get my ladders and the drop cloths and all of that stuff. Are you allergic? Well, see, I don't know. I don't know if I am or not. We're going to find out. I carried it yesterday. Nothing happened, but it was in a bag. But yeah, I've just been rubbing my hands all over it. I think I'm fine. So we'll see. If I come on tonight for story time at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time and I'm all swelled up worse than normal, you'll know. Let me know. I'm allergic too. But anyway, so I'm going to go load up and then I'm going to come home. I got to fix Randy some dinner and then we'll have story time tonight. So, people just starting, yes, that's true. It is being used like the old days. True. I know, Jamie. I know. You just can't, you know, to me, the chicken laying, I know that the chicken at my friend's house in her yard, Jessica's chickens, are the same chickens that are in the refrigerator section of Walmart, but I know it, but it doesn't seem the same. I don't know. And I think if I ever had to watch someone dress a deer like in real life or, you know, yes, I've seen people, my grandpa always did fish. I don't know why. I don't know. I'm indifferent. I'm not sure how I feel about all this stuff. So I know what you're saying. I totally get it. I just don't know. So anyway, thanks for watching my big shopping haul. It was fun. It was a lot of Christmas stuff. We didn't really find, there were a couple of things I kind of wished I would have grabbed. There was a small, like I have this wooden plane. It's a wood tool and it's kind of small, but there was a guy there, like, oh, this was the guy. What did I get from him that was ridiculous? But I got it. I just told you guys and I said I don't remember. It wasn't the tree. What was it? Doesn't matter. And I said, I know it's good because I got it from him. What was it? I don't know what it was. Anyway, whatever it was. I know it was something. It should be right here. I'm not seeing it. Anyway, whatever it was, he had this little plane that would have set so nicely with this one. It was like a taller wood, but it was only like this big. And the stick that came out of it was like, not that long, but it was like extra long. And I didn't get it, but I loved it. So anyway, oh well. You can't have everything, right? You can't get it all. But I did love that. And so if sometimes they'll say, what do you wish you would have got? That would have been the thing I probably wish I would have got that. But besides that, anything I wished I would have got was just too expensive, and that's why I didn't get it. So you can't wish you would have got something that you passed on because it was too expensive. So, but yeah, $30 for that little thing wasn't a bad deal. I should have got it. Oh well. Okay, I think my head was just so into Christmas, and I was really wanting to get some things for spring, and all I got was that silly little bunny. But I had my hands on these cute little paper mache chicken things, little chicks. They were adorable, and they weren't like $15. They weren't very much, but I'm so into Christmas I can't get my head into spring. I just didn't get them. Now I do regret not buying those too. Julie's gonna go back in January while I'm out babying, so I think I might tell her if that lady's still there with the little chicks to grab them for me. We'll see. She knows what I love, so if she sees something, she'll probably get it for me, and I'll just pay her back. Anyway, you guys, thanks for hanging out with me. I loved sharing everything with you. Thanks, Marilyn. Thanks, you guys. I think it was the lamb that, oh yes, you're right. It was the lamb that's missing its foot. This guy's got really cool, I buy a lot of nautical things from him for my basement. And he's got really unusual things. He's from, I want to say the New England area. And I don't know where all he finds his stuff, but it's amazing. And he doesn't budge either. Hi, Chassida. Oh my gosh, I'm just finishing. I'm just getting off. But I did tell the girls about us getting together on Thursday here on my page and on your page if we can pull it together. I think it was 7 o'clock Central and 8 o'clock Eastern time, and we are going to talk about vintage Christmas. And I know you have things that I don't have, and so we're going to chat about that with you guys. We're going to try and do a side-by-side, so our phones will be turned. And it was at the, yay! Yeah, it was, Joe, it was at the fairgrounds, yes. It was the Don Scott Antique Market. So they'll have it again in January. I don't think they have February. I think it's just 3 months. I'm not sure. You'll have to check the internet if you're interested in going, but I won't be able to go to that one. I'll be in Arizona. Yay. Out of the snowy. We had snow today. It was so cute. When I was coming on live, I was watching the neighbor kids on our hill, and it's all, you can see grass now. It's still snowy, but you can see grass, and they were out there trying to sleigh ride. It was adorable. So I was kind of laughing at them. So anyway, you guys, I will see you later. I hope you loved everything that I got. I absolutely am happy with everything, and I did leave some things for other people. You're cleaning your house now to show some items. Well, that's awesome. That's awesome. We just finished, so now you can go. So you guys have a great evening, and I'll see you in a couple of hours. I don't know what time it is, but I'll see you at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time for story time. I'll have another Christmas story for you. We'll see you later. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.